Welcome aboard Rocket Ship, the platform with the most relevant content for competitive examinations. This is our series on civil services examination mains answer writing, and we'll discuss the factors that paved the rise of Magadh to the status of an empire. First, a little bit of background. We are certainly aware that in the 6th century BC in North India, there were 16 Mahajanpadas which are mentioned in Buddhist and Jain sources, as well as various Ganrajyas or republican polities. Of these 16 Mahajanpadas and numerous Ganrajyas, Magadh was just one. Magadh was just one of these Ganrajyas and Mahajanpadas. However, in the next 2 centuries or so, Magadh went on to become a mighty empire during the time of Nandas and especially during the time of Mauryans, when it held sway all over almost entire India, right from Kabul, Kandahar to the deep south in India. Even in the deep south, the four polities of Chola, Chera, Pandyas as well as Satyaputras maintained friendly relations with them. Naturally, we would like to know how one of the Mahajanpadas, just one of the Mahajanpadas, Magadh, it capitalized on its advantages and went on to become a mighty empire. So, naturally, what were the factors that paved the rise of Magadh? These factors can be studied under the headings like, as you can see in the adjoining graphic, these factors can be grouped under geographical factors, strategic factors, economic factors, sociological factors, and able ambitious leadership. These are some of the factors which which played a part in the rise of Magadh. Taking up geographical factors, as we can see in any map that Magadh was almost in the center of North India. This central position accorded it political centrality also to some point. Also, if we can appreciate that major trade routes in the northern India had to pass through Magadh. They had to perforce pass through Magadh. This meant that Magadh would have earned substantial duty in the form of octroi, customs duty, etc. So these must have added to Magadh's economy also, as we will see later. Then taking up strategic factors. Fortunately, Magadh had natural borders. What we mean that its boundaries were marked by, for an example, some rivers. It was protected by some wide and deep rivers as well as highlands or plateau. So its borders were naturally defensible. Also, we know that its initial capital, for an example, Rajgir or Girivraj, which was itself, as its name suggests, a hill fort. Girivraj, the very name means a hill fort. Later, when its capital was transferred to Patliputra, fortunately, Patliputra was protected from almost all sides by major rivers. For an example, the Ganga, Son, etc. Also, often forgotten part is that unlike the polities in northwestern India, as in modern day Punjab, which had to face foreign invasions like from the Persians as well as later day during from the Macedonians under Alexander the Great. हम जानते हैं कि नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया में जो पॉलिटीज़ थे, जैसे कि मॉडर्न डे पंजाब में, उनको जो है कभी जो है वो पर्सिया के आक्रमण सहने पड़े, कभी उनको जो है मसेडोनिया या फिर यूनान के आक्रमण सहने पड़े, जैसे कि सिकंदर के समय में. अनलाइक देम दैट Magadh enjoyed immunity from foreign invasions. This immunity meant that Magadh's dhans could focus on expansion rather than on defense, rather than on mere survival. Magadh could focus on expansion of its empire. Then taking up the economic factors. We know that Magadh, being in the central part of the northern Indian plains, had fertile land, and this fertile land meant it had agricultural surplus. and this agricultural surplus could be channeled into military expenditure and expansion of the empire. Also, Magad was fortunate in it that it had mineral resources also. The region just south of Magad, the Chota Nagpur region had iron ore reserves. Iron ore reserves mean that Magad could not only forge iron weapons but also it could make agricultural equipments, and this further added to its agricultural surplus. Magad also had precious metals, for an example, silver in Khadag mines. Khadag mines in modern day Bihar, they had some silver deposits also. And we know that coinage becomes widespread in India only from the time of the Mauryans. हम जानते हैं कि भारत में जो है सिक्के का प्रचलन जो है मौर्यों के बाद में ही बढ़ना शुरू हुआ. Anyway, we also know that Magad, being situated on the Ganges, on the Ganga, had access to inland ports. Magad had access to inland ports, of which we probably have heard of this one. Champa was a major inland port. It is situated on the Ganga. This means these factors like agricultural surplus, mineral resources, and access to trade routes, as we have already discussed, and inland ports mean that Magad had a strong economy, which is a precursor for any imperial expansion. Also, some scholars have pointed to the sociological factors that accorded Magad an advantage over its peers. Professor Radha Kumud Mukherjee and others say that being late to Aryanize, as Magad was late to Aryanize, Magad was less hobbled by the Vedic orthodoxy. Rather, it was marked by heterodoxy, as we can see during the time of Bhagwan Buddha and Bhagwan Mahavira. Some major heterodox sects like Buddhism, Jainism, Ajivak, and even the Charvakas or the Lokayat Mat had important part to play in Magad's social life. This heterodoxy accorded Magad with a sense of unconformity and enterprise rather than unconformity and a sense of enterprise, which are necessary factors, which are necessary for a sense of expansion. Also, Magad was fortunate that it had able, ambitious leadership. Magad was fortunate that it had able, ambitious leadership. Right from the time of the mythological Jarasandh, who the Mahabharata says that had subdued many local kings. Mahabharata mentions that he had subdued 86 local kings. Then coming to Bimbisara, who had annexed Anga, his son Ajatasattu had annexed Vaishali, Shishunaga, who had destroyed the power of Avanti, Magad's major rival, as well as Nanda's, by whose time almost entire Uttarapat was under Magad's control. And we should also appreciate that these leaders were also sagacious enough. They were wise enough. They adopted various strategies to make Magad's position strong. They adopted various strategies to make Magad's position strong. For an example, they forced marital alliances. As we know, Bimbisar had marital alliances with the Kosalans, with the Vaishalis people, with the Lichvis, and also with the Punjab's people of the Madhya Mahajanpad. So these able, ambitious leaders were also in some way contributory to the rise of Magadh. To sum up, we can say that it was an interplay of various factors like economic factors, strategic factors, sociological factors, geographical factors, and fortunately an able, ambitious leadership which paved the way of Magadh's rise to the status of an empire. That is all for today. We meet again for the next lecture in a few days. Meanwhile, your comments and your feedback are most welcome. You should also add your points. If you have any about this question, you can make points which we might have missed. We wish you all the best. Thank you.